All right, let's get to Sweeny. The Yankee Report brought to you by First Priority Pay. Finally, a pay service for the small business. Log on to firstprioritypay.com today, and by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. We welcome in Sweeny. All right, Sweeny, let's start with Jeter. Out of the lineup today. MRI today. What's going on?
Yeah, MRIs showed nothing. Basically, day to day, they'll check him again tomorrow. Jeter thinks he can play, but he always thinks he can play, Mike. The good news is they didn't find anything, so we'll just kind of basically see how he is each day.
Yankee lineup: Damon, Swisher, Teixeira, A-Rod, Cano, Posada, Matsui, Cabrera, Pena. Pena, of course, tonight batting ninth. Shortstop, Lannon against Wong. Let's start with Wong. Obviously, he goes against the Nats, who can hit Sweeny, and it is kind of do-or-die night. Does that mean win? Does that mean be effective? Does that mean show sink on the fastball? What does do or die mean tonight?
I think they just need to see something, Mike, that shows them that it's worth sticking with him in the rotation. I asked Girardi if it was just black and white. If he pitches well, stays in the rotation. If he doesn't, he's out. He said, no, it's not quite that simple. Because it's so subjective, Mike, I don't know how they're going to look at it if it's something in between. I mean, if he can... I think first off, if he can keep him in the game long enough to get through 5 innings at least, maybe 6, if he's able to do that, but he still gives up some hits and runs, I think you kind of got to see. We know that Wong gives up hits even when he's good, just because of the sinker ball. But I really wish I knew exactly what we were looking for tonight. I think it's just got to be better than what we've been seeing.
Sweeny, last night you heard the boos directed at A-Rod. The slump continues. It is deepening. He is leaving a good amount of people on base. Obviously, as teams pitch around Teixeira at optimum times. What about A-Rod right now?
A-Rod's physically still okay. I talked with Kevin Long a little while ago, and they said, he said, really, it's a simple batting thing that maybe he's gone through before. He's a little slow in his swing. He's catching up. He needs to wait a little bit longer and attack the ball in the zone as opposed to being out front and maybe slowing his swing down to catch up to the pitch. It's really just that simple. I was concerned that maybe he's physically been worn down since he's pretty much played every day. If you look at him, he's now played 36 games since he came back. So is it something like that? He said no. He said physically, actually, what they're going to start doing is actually ramp up his activity before the game to what it has always been. They've kind of curtailed a little bit to work with what he's coming off of, Mike, with the surgery and all. But they're actually going to ramp up his workouts before the game and try and get him back to a normal workload to see if that works. Otherwise, he's still walking. He still has an on base that's pretty good. Obviously, it could be better if he's getting some hits, but he's still effective in there as far as what your other options were when he wasn't in the lineup. He's still so much better than what they were going with before. But they think he's just in a normal slump, and it's not anything that's related to slowing down with the hip surgery.
Sweeny, do we have he's in the lineup tonight, but do we have a Posada mutiny when it comes to Sabathia, Burnett, and Jabba?
I don't know if it's a mutiny per se, Mike. Clearly, there's some issues to work around there. The thing you got to remember, and as talking to somebody about this today, you're looking at 3 guys, and he hasn't caught a whole lot. Jabba he knew as a reliever, and last year most of the time when Jabba was starting, Posada was out. Sabathia and Burnett are new to the staff this year. Posada missed some time already. It might take a little while for him to really get a feel for these guys. He's talking about 3 starting pitchers that he needs to get to know, and that might be a little while. It's clear that there's some issues getting on the same page, but they're not going to take him out of the lineup. So you got to work your way through it.
Be interesting to watch, that's for sure. Now, other than that, Sweeny, Jeter, you think is day to day. Do you expect Posada to DH more? Does Matsui, now that we get ready to hit the road and play all the NL games, will Matsui go to the outfield some? Will he not? Girardi told me Damon will not go to center field, which means if Damon plays left, Melky or Gardner has to play center. Does Matsui play right field? Does Posada only catch some of the games and then pinch hit the other games? How, as you get ready for that, how do you expect that to unfold here?
Well, I think Posada's going to have to play the majority of those games. Otherwise, you're stuck with him as a bat off the bench in these National League parks. 9 straight games in National League parks, no DH. You're going to have some issues there. Matsui, from where I can gather, might come in late in games. You can use him off the bench and maybe use him, and if it's going to be Swisher and right, you can use him there per se, and see if he can play. But it's not going to be full games there. I don't think they feel Matsui's ready to play full games in the outfield.